What's up, dudes? We got a boat, but not going to be building this boat. This is going to be a parts boat for the other boat that y'all haven't seen yet. Long story short, I've got a boat that I am building at the moment. Came with a trailer that was too short for it, and I needed another trailer. And I looked on Marketplace for a while, couldn't find just a trailer that was the right size. So I put a little feeler out on Instagram and on Facebook saying that, you know, I'm in need of a boat trailer. And my buddy Justice hollered at me and said he still had this boat. I almost bought this boat last year, but I ended up not. I think it's a little bit too much damage to the front. We'll get to that in a minute to actually do a build on. But it comes with a motor and a couple other little things that I'll be able to use. And of course the trailer will work for the boat that I am working on. I paid $800 for this boat, trailer, and motor. The motor does not run. Supposedly it did run. Solenoid went out. So hopefully what we can do is get this thing running and sell this motor and hopefully recoup some of the money. I'm not sure what to do with the boat yet. Probably scrap it. But I'm definitely not going to be building this boat for sure. Like I said, hopefully in this video we can get this thing running. And rebuilding this trailer, fixing it up, will be on the next video. I thought, why not do a little short video on just going over the boat, what I got, how much I paid for it, and hopefully working on this motor and getting it back running. All right, let me show you guys this boat. All right, this boat is a 1538. Go ahead and get to the damage part of it. Not exactly sure what happened. Neither my buddy Justice that I got it from said he actually looked at this boat before it was damaged and said he would buy it. And when he went to go pick it up, lo and behold, it had a little customization going on. He said he didn't know how it happened, but I'm sure all these rivets are probably jacked up. This whole thing would need to come out. It's got a giant hole where it ripped a little spring out, and it's missing both of the handles up front. It's got a bunch of extra holes drilled in the boat. I mean, I'm sure this boat probably looks pretty good on camera, and I'll have a lot of people thinking I'm dumb for, you know, not giving this boat another chance. But I mean, there's a lot of signs of, you know, leaky rivets. There's a lot of this crap going on everywhere. Of course, it's one of them boats that had these seats, probably just 2 seats in the middle, and that would take a whole lot of aluminum to fill this in. And the sides, it's got those sides that are boxed like that. I mean, it wouldn't be worth it, in my opinion, to build this boat, even if I could get it, the front part of it, fixed. But like I said, I bought it for the trailer. It's I don't know, it's not a homemade trailer. It looks decent. Of course, in true fashion of buying a used boat, the taillights do not work. It actually had another seat that came with it. I didn't even know it had seats with it. But anyhow, the other seat kind of caught a little wind on my way home, if you catch my drift. And I did not turn around to go get it because that tin was probably crumpled up. I come with an anchor, a gas tank, which I don't know if leaks or not. We have a little fiberglass paddle. It's got a fish finder. Don't know if it works or not. If it does, probably going to use it on that boat that I'm working on. Spare tire is junk. Come with a trolling motor, and it's kind of cool because it's stowable. It is an old trolling motor, a motor guide. It's only a 35-pound thrust. I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not, but I do like this little riser that it's mounted to. I'll be able to use that probably on some build. If not, if I don't use this trolling motor on the boat I'm working on, I can sell it for $50 probably and pick up another one. And I'm definitely gonna hang on to that little riser. That's kind of cool. I won't use the seat. I mean, I might, I don't know, probably try to sell it or something. I'm starting to look like Sanford and Sons around here with all these boat parts I keep accumulating. I need to get rid of them. Oh, another bad thing about this boat is the transom shot too, so that's another negative about it. All right, let's talk about this motor. This motor is a 1990 Evinrude 25 horse. It seems to be all there. I don't really know much about these motors. So we're missing the solenoid, starter solenoid. Hopefully we can get that hooked back up, some fresh gas. Not exactly what all is disconnected. We got a key switch right here with a boat plug. Add to my collection. But the wires are cut off, so I'm not really sure about that. I don't know if I I'm guessing that's the regular start on it. So maybe we can just hook the lines to a battery and run it that way. Seems to be shifting, so I don't know. Hopefully that's it. Like I said, some fresh gas. Hook that solenoid up. I know this thing ain't ran in 2 years, so we'll go through all that. Carb probably needs to be cleaned. Like I said, if we can get this thing running pretty decent, I don't know, $800 quick sale, I believe. Maybe more than that. Maybe ask $1,000, take $800 for it. That would at least give me a free trailer if I could get $800 out of this motor, not counting the little extra things that it came with. All right, that being said, we need to get the motor off and onto a stand, get all this stuff that I'm going to use out of the boat. I need to get the boat off the trailer. I need to get this trailer spiffied up because I'm almost ready to put the boat I'm working on the trailer. All right, let's get to work. Trolling motor does work. I don't know, worth at least $50, right? Fish finder don't work, but that ain't the end of the world because the transducer was broke anyways. But it was worth a try anyways. Whew. I've been donking around with this thing for a while. This is the solenoid I ordered. I mean, I wired this thing every way possible and couldn't never get it to crank over with a little push button starter. I did jump the wire, this wire, and grounded it out and with the battery, and it will crank over. So the starter's good. Relay should be good. But what I believe is our issue is this wire, this original little, these battery leads. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but they are pretty toast. If I hooked the red to right here, which is actually the end of this lead, and had the ground hooked up to this, it would just barely, it would turn here, but it wouldn't like push up. So it's just not getting enough volts up through these old crappy wires, which, here, I'll show you. If you push this down, you'll see how badly corroded this is. So what I went ahead and did is ordered some 8-gauge wires from Amazon. They'll be here Saturday. So this project's going to be on hold until then. Great. Anytime I want to hurry up and get some money back, I get snagged by problems. We'll pick this up this weekend when we get the battery cables in. All right, dudes, it's been about 2 weeks since the last time I messed with this thing. Got hung up on these battery leads because Amazon lost them, had to reorder them. So that put me behind about a week. And while I was waiting on that, I went ahead and ordered me a carb kit for this thing and took it apart, put it back together, and I tightened this little dude right here down a little too much and it snapped. So I had to order another one of those because it wasn't included with the carb kit, and that took another week. But hopefully the carb is all cleaned out and we can put this thing together, and I'm hoping it'll fire up and run pretty good. I've actually, just to be 100% honest with you guys, I've had this thing running already. Did not want to idle. I actually took the carb off and just kind of cleaned it real quick with some carb cleaner and put it back together. And like I said, it would fire up and run as long as you gave it gas. So I'm hoping maybe something was wrong with the idle jet, and now it's clear. Fingers crossed. Anyways, if anybody's wondering, you do have to take this starter bracket off of these model motors. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's not that big of a pain in the butt. You got to take the solenoid off this little throttle linkage here. You unbolt it here, move it out of the way. And this little advanced thing right here, which sits in the bracket, you have to take it off too. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to take the starter out completely. It's got a one bolt. You see it where it goes, like right here, that you could easily miss if you didn't see it. But I think it's like 1, two, these two, and then this one right here, and then comes out, and that way you can get to this bolt for the carburetor and get it off. It's not the easiest one I've ever dealt with, but definitely not the hardest. But anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back together real quick and hook some water up to it, and hopefully she fires off. See what we got. Well, good news and bad news. I was kind of coughing there, but it was actually running lower and it cranked right up. But I am leaking gas everywhere out of that float ball. I got a new gasket with it and I tightened it up good. I don't know, I might have to just put that old gasket back on, but what sucks is I have to take all this crap back off again to take the carb off. All right, hang with me. Let's try it again. Not leaking, that's good. Adjusted a little bit where it's idling, at least right here. Maybe it just needs to be ran a while, but sounds pretty good. Not leaking gas anywhere. Well, this thing stopped peeing on me a couple times, and I already have a water pump kit for this thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this lower unit off and go ahead and throw it on there. I was gonna return it because the other day it was peeing. It's always a good idea to just go ahead and replace at least the impeller, check everything out on a motor that hasn't been running a long time. Hopefully I didn't break off one of them fins and it sucked up in the system somewhere. That would really suck. This is actually one of the hardest lower units to get out that I've messed with. You have to take these vents off on each side and then split these two things apart. And this end right here has this fitting on it, of course, but you have to slide it up, and it has like this little retaining clip going around. You see how it's notched? You got to take this thing off, which is like, it's got a split in it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is plastic, so I could see it breaking easy. That way you can slip this off, and then the whole lower unit comes out. Just so you guys know, that's where you take your shift lever off at. But anyhow, we definitely needed to change this thing. You see we got one broken fin right here, and all of them are pretty brittle and cracked up. I'm not sure if I did it or not, but the key was laying up here when I took it off, so I don't know if it somehow spun, or maybe when I took the housing off it come up and flopped back on top. But anyways, when I got the housing off, the key was on top. That could have been part of our problem, I don't know, but definitely needed to be changed. So I'm gonna go ahead and change it up. I mean, don't be a cheapskate like I was trying to be. It's a motor, even though if it looks like it's pumping pretty good, if you know it hasn't been ran in a long time, so go ahead and get you a kit. I think this kit this is a whole rebuild kit. Came with everything we're gonna need, and it was only like 20 bucks. So like I said, go ahead and do it. If you know the motor's been sitting for a while, you're really supposed to change these impellers out every year. I know that seems a little excessive, but you can have a world of problem if you have one of these fins break off and it gets sucked into your water cooling system. All right, I'm gonna replace all this crap, put it back together, and see if it runs and pees. Damn, I hate this motor. Welcome back to Chris Takes This Carburetor Off 15,000 times. Well, as you saw just a second ago, all I literally did was take the lower unit off, put it back on, and all of a sudden it wants to run like crap. The way it was acting was that something was clogged in the carburetor. So took the carburetor off again, and when I popped the bowl open, it's a bunch of black stuff in the bottom of it. I mean, I'm using a brand new fuel tank, and I was using that True Fuel, so I know it wasn't bad gas. So what I went ahead and did is got me a little Cool Whip bowl and put it under here, disconnected the fuel lines, and just primed it to see what come out, and it was funky. These fuel lines are bad. I've already replaced this one right here that snakes around and goes to the fuel pump, but I didn't have any of the smaller line that goes from the fuel pump to the carb. I would just pick some up from O'Reilly's, and hopefully that'll be the last of our issues. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is the fuel line from the carb to the fuel pump. Spray some carburetor cleaner through it. You see this bowl is pretty much clean. Y'all see that? That's not good. Well, imagine running a mixture of 1-to-1 gas to broken down rubber is really gonna run too good in an outboard. It's just one more thing to check on a motor that's been sitting for a while. These fuel lines, they just get old and funky and start breaking down from the inside, especially the older motors. All right, let's put the new fuel line on, put the car back on for the 27th time, and hopefully it'll fire up and run decent. All right, here we go. Tape 17. Well, if you couldn't tell, it's running like crap still, and it wasn't peeing. The other day when it was running like crap, it was peeing. After I put the new water pump in, now it's not. And I saw some brown liquid coming out of it. Once again, I guess I'm going to carry into this motor and trace that line back and see if the thermostat isn't gummed up or got like a dirt dauber's nest or something in it. All right, dudes, I have had it with this freaking motor. So I think the last time I filmed, I tried to get it running. It was still popping. I don't know if it's a lean pop, was a timing issue, a rich pop, I don't know, but it was popping, not running good, and it wasn't peeing at all. I did a little digging, and I found a way to kind of link and sync it. Not the thorough way, but like a quick little thing. I did that, and I went ahead and dropped the lower unit, and check out the brand new impeller. Look at this. That thing just melted to crap. I mean, I didn't run it no longer than 5 minutes total, maybe. And I mean, it was peeing when I first put it on. But I mean, that just goes to show you. This was some Kung Pao chicken Amazon special. Well, I went ahead and ordered an actual OMC Johnson Evinrude water pump kit. put it on today, got it all back together. I ordered a fuel pump, and it is actually Kung Pao chicken, but I went ahead and put it on. The this little nipple right here that goes to the carb was different, so I had to rob it from the other one, put it on. Another thing is I put it in a barrel of water. As you see, my muffs are pretty crickety. They're pretty terrible. I need to get some new ones. So I'm hoping that it runs decent now. I actually have ran it a little bit earlier, and I adjusted the air fuel mixture. I adjusted it out a lot, and it seemed like the pop was getting better. It was peeing good. So I mean, it's sat here for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to run it, and hopefully it's going to be halfway decent. If this thing don't run good now, I'm gonna have $150 in just parts on this motor now, which part of it's my fault for getting that real cheap water pump kit, but still, it's done got ridiculous. I mean, if I can't get it to run good, I probably can't get 200 bucks out of it. And you know, I bought it with that boat and trailer and everything. It's $800 for all that crap. Anyhow, let's see what it does. Alright, still needs a little adjusting to it, but that is a lot better than it has been. So chalk that up as kind of a win. Alright, this is more of a flipping video and working on a motor more than anything. But I mean, I think I came out okay on the deal. $800 for the boat, trailer, motor, and trolling motor. I actually sold the boat as kind of scrap. I just threw it on Marketplace for 50 bucks. And it didn't last very long at all. I ended up using the trolling motor on the boat that I'm working on. Trolling motor would cost like 350 bucks, so I saved that. And the motor, I threw it on Marketplace yesterday for 600 bucks. You know, if I probably take 500 for it, I think that is a very good price for a running, peeing, going in and out of gear 25 horse motor. I mean, sounds good. I would ask more for it if I had a boat to put it on and actually test it out on the water and tweak it, fine-tune it a little bit, but I do not. The boat that I'm working on is really not big enough to support this size motor, not to mention I don't really want to jack around with scratching the paint up, taking it on and off, and whatever. Hopefully I can get 500 bucks out of this. Like I said, sold the boat for 50 bucks, so let's just say worst case scenario, 550 bucks, paid $800 for the boat, trailer, and everything. So what I got the trailer for 350 bucks. That's not too bad. And I got the trolling motor, which saved me another 350 bucks. So I'm gonna say I broke kind of even. I know the trolling motor I'm using, it's old, but it works great. I mean, I've already taken this boat out that y'all haven't seen yet. And yeah, everything works on it. It's only a 35-pound thrust, but it pulled the boat around fine. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this deal. So all right, I actually have another video that I have yet to post on some little outboard motor action, but I think I'll save that for later on. And then hopefully later this week, whenever I post this video, I'm hoping Monday, Tuesday-ish, Friday, I will introduce y'all to the boat that I've been working on the past couple months. It's been a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Just life, man. Y'all know how it is. I'm not the only one living it. But anyhow, I really appreciate you guys watching. See you on the next one.